Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Please like, subscribe, become a member to the channel if you enjoy the content. Let me tell you something. Some fighters talk. Some fighters don't have to. That's what you get when you look at Shadasia Green. She don't have to talk. Clarissa, she ain't never stopped talking ever since she found her voice. But right now in women's boxing, there's one name moving different, and that's Shadasia Green. She fights tonight. Should be exciting. But one thing for sure is she won't be loud. She's not chasing headlines, but make no mistake, she might be the most dangerous woman in sports today. You got to understand what silent but deadly really means. Being silent but deadly in boxing is psychological warfare. If you just think about it, when a fighter is loud, like Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather Jr., you expect that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? But when someone is quiet, you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're planning. And that uncertainty creates pressure. That's where Shadasia Green lives, in silence. She brings a stoic energy, which a lot of people find very intimidating. You see, fighters who don't show emotion are often the most intimidating. You say, why? Because they lack. Let me put it to you this way, right? I think because they look like they've already accepted the outcome. Now, we've seen this with guys like Gennady Golovkin, calm, smiling, destroying people. Marvin Hagler, no nonsense, all violence. Terrence Crawford, quiet until it's time. And on the women's side, you have the Katie Taylors, quiet, but do the business in the ring. Can do the business in the ring. Ann Wolfe wasn't all that vocal, but would get in the ring and do the business. Now you can add Shadasia Green to that list. She doesn't need to sell fear. Her presence creates it. And that's why when she gets in that ring tonight with Lanai Daniels, a lot of people feel like there's a kink in the armor of Lanai just because of the presence and that stoic demeanor of Shadasia Green. Now, although this is about Shadasia Green, you can't help but talk about the GWOAT. Man, please, Papoose, because there is a Clarissa dynamic. We are all praying. We got our fingers crossed, legs crossed, crossed T's, hot cross buns, cross the street. Call the Red Cross if all hell breaks loose, right? We are praying to get Clarissa Shields and Shadasia Green next. But it's not really looking like that. You see, Clarissa has that opposite energy. She's the A side and she knows what she wants to do. And if she doesn't want to fight Shadasia, she's not going to do it. But one thing about Clarissa, she's loud, confident. She has a very dominant personality. She likes to control narratives. But here's where it gets interesting. When it comes to Shadasia, that energy shifts. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Clarissa isn't really making a whole lot of noise when it comes to Shadasia Green. Confrontation's been less direct. Maybe because they did have a conversation and decided to be somewhat cordial towards each other. You know, I don't know. But what's this the young people say? I keep hearing it all the time. Something about, you're an op. I don't know what that was. You're an op. You start talking about ops, I think IHOP. I'm start thinking pancakes, pecan pancakes with syrup. So when they say someone is an op, y'all got to help me out. I'm from the old school. I don't be on the internet like that. So I don't know really what this op shit means. Unless it means opposition or opponent. Opportunity. I don't know what the hell it means. But what I'll tell you is, if Clarissa views somebody as what the young people say as an opposition, she's not one to be out there trying to be cordial with them. So it makes me wonder what the hell is going on here. Because that ain't random. Maybe it's just that Clarissa recognizes that Shadasia Green is a real one. She's a real fighter. And Clarissa knows this is different. She understands. Clarissa's faced champions. She's faced Olympians. She's faced veterans. But Shadasia brings something else. Size, composure, no intimidation factor. She's not reacting to Clarissa, and that's dangerous because Clarissa's usual weapons, talking, presence, mental pressure, that doesn't land the same way when it comes to Shadasia. Shadasia almost has the perfect persona. She might be building the ideal modern fighter brand. She's actually educated, she's disciplined, calm, focused, marketable, and she doesn't force anything. This isn't accidental. This is controlled image building, people. And in today's era, that matters just as much as skills. You got to understand her backstory. Very, very powerful, man. If they want to use it as an angle for building her brand and for marketing her. Her story hits different. You know, she didn't just fight her way up. She was pushed by a very strong mother, guided towards education, excelled in college basketball, graduated college. I mean, that's a big deal. And that foundation shows in her discipline. She's not just fighting with emotion, she's fighting with structure. Something Clarissa Shields doesn't have. So what you're seeing here with Shadasia, the silent killer, is brand building being done right. Let's compare the branding styles, right? Since we're talking about Clarissa and Shadasia. Clarissa is loud dominance, the GWOAT narrative, high visibility. Shadasia Green is a quiet rise, respect first image, and let the results speak. Now, I'm going to tell you, both work, but Shadasia's approach builds long-term intrigue. People lean in to understand her. MVP and Jake Paul are getting it right, but Shadasia Green has everything to do with that. And that's why the connection with her and Jake Paul and MVP is huge, man. It's huge. Because MVP understands the storytelling aspect of things, the promotion, the viral moments. Jake Paul gets it. Nikisa gets it. They understand what they have. They're like, okay, we got a gem here. We can turn this I would say silence into mysterious and must watch. And that's what Shadasia Green has become, like the boogie woman. Like you hear about that Sasquatch, that chupacabra, something under the bed. You know what I'm saying? And they realize that with this, her being so silent and this aura of mystique around her, this makes her must watch. We can build on this. She's mysterious. She's educated. She can fight, but the bottom line is she's mysterious. People look at her and they're like, man, she's kind of quiet. But she's must watch. And that's dangerous for the rest of the division. Because even they sit back looking like you don't really know how to take her. But I'm going to tell you right now, all the pressure's on Clarissa. If Shadasia Green dominates Lanai Daniels, knocks her out, then what? There's only one real conversation left. It's Shadasia Green. And here's the issue. That's why the pressure's on Clarissa. Because Clarissa fought Lanai, and, it went the distance. But if Shadasia comes and she tranquilizes her, well, now Clarissa's got the pressure. If you call yourself the GWOAT, you don't get to pick and choose legacy fights. And that's what it looks like Clarissa's trying to do. Look like she's trying to put duck sauce on the fried rice. So my thing is, Clarissa may have talked herself into a corner. She built her brand on fighting anyone, being the best, leaving no doubt. So now, what's the problem? Why are we taking it to the stupid now? You know what I'm saying? Put down the duck sauce, pick up the goddamn soy sauce, put it on the fried rice with them chicken wings, and enjoy your meal. Because the expectations are higher than ever now. We want to see Clarissa fight the silent killer, Shadasia Green. Because what fans are going to ask if Clarissa doesn't make this fight, they're going to be like, first, those of us who are like myself a bit more reasonable say, all right, you're not fighting her, then who? Who you going to fight? What you going to do? But others are just going to immediately say Clarissa's scared, she's ducking, putting putting duck sauce on the fried rice, they ain't gonna want to hear it. They probably have worse things to say, but I ain't gonna say that shit. The bottom line is all the pressure's on Clarissa if Shadasia does the business. But Shadasia's under a lot of pressure and scrutiny as well, because a lot of people who are just now learning about it, like, oh, this is the one that they're saying could beat Clarissa. This is the one that could knock her out. This is the one they're saying is a threat. This is the final boss here. They're like, okay, let's see what she does. So Shadasia's got to show up and show out. But the bottom line, some fighters get your attention by talking. Others, they take it without saying a word. And right now, Shadasia Green is saying the loudest message in boxing by just staying silent. I'm telling you, she's moving different, starting to raise real questions about Clarissa Shields and what she's going to do when it comes to Shadasia Green. And I think it's important to explore the power of being silent but deadly and why stoic fighters are often the most dangerous. And that's what Shadasia Green is. Calm presence. Look how it shifted the landscape. The background, growing brand. Everyone feels she's the biggest threat to Clarissa's legacy. And the fight tonight gets her one step closer to proving that. She just has to do the business. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.